This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
Touch it, it falls. There you go. Good job.
Oh my god.
Nice and close.
Oh my god.
Here.
Chris.
It's like how when you're little and you go to see the Santa at the mall, you all think they all look the same, even though they're all different. The one I went to is the actual Santa. So,
anyways,
and Justin.
Whether it be better equipment, whether it be merchandise, whether it be
a gold hat for myself,
a gold hat for Justin.
The episode starts now.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia, where we revisit everyone's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. So before that we go into what we actually watched this week, we're going to kind of do something different. We're going to go over like some nostalgia news that just came out recently, which is the Lion King trailer, which was incredible in my opinion.
Looks pretty awesome.
I mean, James Earl Jones, like his voice, it gave me goosebumps.
Oh, I know. It was pretty cool.
I was kind of emotional when I saw this trailer.
The biggest question is, will this movie break records?
I don't think so. I don't think
the trailer already has.
The trailer has, yeah.
The trailer has. What is it? The second or first?
For it's second behind Infinity War.
Infinity War.
But
second most viewed.
Yeah, but Infinity War didn't break records. I think it's going to do well. I just don't think there's going to be enough difference in it because like Beauty and the Beast had like pretty mixed reviews because it stuck too closely. I think this is going to do the same thing, which is fine.
But Beauty and the Beast is not Lion King.
I don't know. I still think it's gonna.
We're dealing with the most beloved Disney movie. We're dealing with cutting edge CGI. It's a property that I've never met anybody who hates the Lion King. So would it break the all-time? Probably not. Will it break opening weekend? I think it has a big chance to break opening weekend.
I agree. I think it might break
and be the fastest to $1 billion.
That could be.
Yeah, I was very skeptical about this movie until I saw the trailer, and
looks pretty cool.
It looks awesome.
It was better than the Aladdin
trailer
reveal.
yet. You need to go watch it, which I'm guessing you already have because there's like 300 million people that have watched it already.
They did this better than the Aladdin reveal. They showed enough to where you were teased sufficiently. The Aladdin one didn't show anybody we wanted to see. We don't care who Aladdin looks like. Show us the genie,
right.
And don't show us all these locales. Like we saw Agrabah, we saw the lamp, we saw the Cave of Wonders, but they didn't show anything else big. Here we saw Simba as a kid. We saw Simba as a lion, as an adult.
He looked good.
All right, I'm glad they kept Mufasa hidden.
Did you see how ripped he was?
Pretty ripped.
No, he was ripped.
Rafiki was in it. I'm excited.
Pretty much everybody besides Timon, Pumbaa, and
I saw a video. I don't know if you guys saw, but it was like a shot by shot of like the animation.
Yeah,
and like scenes from
pretty
the trailer.
close.
It's pretty close.
I'm excited about it. I just don't think it's going to be as good as the original.
I'm glad that we watched it like a couple months ago.
I know. Yeah, if y'all want to listen to the episode, it's down there.
All right, so another thing that just got revealed was Keanu Reeves is going to be in Toy Story.
And it was Toy Story 4 trailer, which I don't know how I feel about it.
Over under on how many Matrix jokes are made. I say at least 4.
Well, where do you think the universe is going to go when it comes to the Toy Story?
I don't really care. I don't want to see it. I'm kind of pissed off they're making it.
I am kind of upset they're making it too. 3 was one of my favorites.
It was the best ending you could possibly do.
So here's the thing. They always said if they didn't have a good story, they wouldn't go with it. Same thing with Incredibles. So was Incredibles the greatest movie ever? No. Was it a good movie? Yes. It wasn't great by Pixar standards, obviously. It's very hard to hit those standards.
I don't know, man. John Lasseter is gone for being too touchy with people.
Touchy-feely? A little grabby?
I just don't think it's going to be as good.
Me too'd some people?
Yeah, he did me too some people. I don't think it's going to be as good. I'll see it, but I'm not happy they're making it.
Toy Story 3 stepped it up a little bit, in my opinion. It's probably not my favorite, but I think
it got better and better. I think 2 was better than 1 and 3 was better than 2. Personally, that's my.
It's hard to say, man.
I say it's 2, 1, 3.
Really? You don't like 2 that much?
You didn't like 3?
didn't say I didn't like 3.
Oh, 3's your least favorite?
Yes.
That's like we're cutting like
I
very
2.
3 had the best ending. So if there's a video on YouTube of these guys who cut the last few parts of the movie where they actually survive, they get saved.
Yeah.
So he showed it to his mom, and he got all the way down to the furnace and just cuts the credits.
That'd be awesome.
And I said, you know what? That's a perfect ending.
That's not a perfect
No,
ending.
the way they ended it was
That's
perfect.
an awful ending.
I wanted them to all be destroyed.
Weird.
But you're Justin, okay.
What-
last thing I want to mention was The Grinch did actually really well in box office.
That's not surprising.
This is not super surprising.
No, it's not meant for us. It's meant for little kids.
I guess. But
Still.
We're not the market.
It made almost 80 million worldwide. But when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 55%.
Yeah. From what I heard is that it was okay, but
It's very kiddish.
Yeah, it's pointless, but it does capture better than the Jim Carrey one that we just recently watched. It captures the actual plot or the actual story that Dr. Seuss was trying to do, not the Jim Carrey one where the message is don't get bullied or don't be bullied.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
It's a movie for kids.
It's a movie for kids, but yeah, surprising it did well. I didn't think it would.
All right. Anyway, so we watched Friends this week.
Yeah, season 1.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
Yeah, we'll list them all below, which ones we watched.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of go through some of them, but yeah. So, what did you think about this, John, when you were little?
So when I first watched this show, I was 7. So it was
Very appropriate.
Yeah, right. So it came out in '94. So it was 3 years after it actually came out. Because I first remember watching it when I was in '97. So.
They already had like reruns and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What bank they had to make off of those?
I don't know why, but I loved this
Can't
show
imagine.
growing up. I loved it. I watched it every single.
I don't know how you understood it.
I got caught up to when, they started airing new episodes, and then every single week, me and my family would just watch this every single week. And it was a good family bonding moment, which is weird because Friends is
Not a good family
it's
show.
not a good family.
What did you say
bonding
last
show.
week, Chris? You could. He couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but he was allowed to watch
Yeah,
the
that's right.
Sex-Crazed Friends.
He couldn't read Harry Potter, but he could watch Friends.
You know what? Stop judging my family, okay?
Uh,
No, but I loved it. I was.
So this is for me, John, this is the equivalent of League of Their Own. I watched it in college, so I think it should be mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Justin? Did you watch it when did you watch this? Everybody's seen it. When did you start
I
it?
probably started watching it maybe in middle school, high school.
Yeah.
And I really, really got into it in college.
Really got into it in college.
That's all
Like-
I watched.
Jennifer Aniston's nipples and just
Right.
But
Look,
John-
it must have been very cold on set. But yeah, I am
it's
thinking.
it's gotten mentioned to her in a couple of interviews,
Has it?
and she makes it, she kind of breezes us off like
It wasn't that. Okay, we kind of talked about this a little bit. It wasn't that bad in this seson, was it? I didn't notice.
not
No.
the first season, not the first season.
I didn't
at all.
notice it at all. I wasn't looking, but
But
I
she
didn't
definitely
notice
did it on purpose.
it. Oh yeah, for sure.
When it gets later into season.
Yeah, yeah. But John, what do you have there? You brought a little prop for us.
This is so
Oh yeah,
stupid.
so I have a special collector's edition of the Friends. Like it includes like their
Bible?
interviews. It's like the Bible.
So the book is $11.
Okay.
It wasn't $11. I paid close to 40 for it.
Things that you could probably find for free
Now.
on the internet.
But man, it's like 100 pages almost. It looks like.
But it came out in 2004.
Justin, would you like to do a
my
fun
God,
fact thing?
do a fun facts thing.
Fun facts thing. All right, here we go. This is going to require participation from the podcast, the rest of the podcast.
Are we clapping? Okay.
All right, you ready? So no one told you these would be the fun facts. Because they're the fun facts of Friends. There we go.
Okay.
So John, I kept looking at John
This
because
is
John
my
didn't wanna do
show,
anything.
and I hated that.
I thought it was pretty good.
John gets really uppity when it's his shows.
he does.
Huh?
He does.
It needs to be great, Justin.
doesn't wanna have any
Your
friends.
fun facts themes need to be like
Doesn't wanna
on
have any
point.
fun.
So this show surprisingly made a lot of money
Yeah.
for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It first aired in November, I want to say 22nd in 1994.
Oh, it's a late one.
And each year, except for the first year, each year it made over $1 billion for the network.
That's crazy.
That's surprising.
The first year, the cast, they didn't get like a lot for the season that we watched, but a lot of seasons afterwards, they got a lot of money. The first season they got 22,500
An episode?
for each episode.
Yeah.
That's still
And
a lot.
a lot of
They
money.
they all met together. Like at the time, it probably was, but they all met together, and it was the first cast to actually do this. They all met together, and they made sure that each one of them got paid the exact same amount.
I think they got like $1 million per episode.
That was like season 9, season 10. They got like $1 million an episode.
So
million and a half.
No,
seasons
million.
after that, when it started to like get really really big, and they started to get like Emmys and stuff like that, and a lot of people got nominated. They each got together and they talked about 100,000 an episode, and then the last season they got $1 million per episode. It's
Crazy.
So
That is so much money.
yeah, eventually they started to make $22 million each a year off this show.
Must be nice.
But
That's
yeah,
100,
each,
120, 140 million for the season just for that cast.
each like however much the network made, they got like 2% of that too.
That's crazy.
So all right, so they had 10 years filming this show with 10 seasons. There was a lot of people that were supposed to play like all these different cast members and different things like that. Courtney Cox was supposed to play Rachel at the very beginning. A lot of people know that, but she read Monica's script, and she felt like Monica was a more powerful character. So she said, "Hey, I want to be Monica instead."
I can't see her as Rachel.
I can't see her as Rachel either.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess every single time that I picture like Rachel at the very beginning, it's with her screaming with her friends
Oh, yeah.
at the
yeah.
very beginning, and they're like, I don't know how you would describe that. They're just like all sorority girls. That's
Yeah.
what it kind of seems like.
Yeah.
So, do you know who John Cryer is? Cryer, sorry.
John Cryer, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy
So
from-
he was supposed to play Chandler.
I can see that.
He interviewed.
I can see it.
no.
He interviewed and
He's
and
too like.
I think he'd make it better at Ross. He's like nerdy like Ross, but
I can't see it at all.
So Ross's character was written for David Schwimmer.
really.
Yeah, it was written for him specifically. He was the first one casted.
I'll go ahead and say it
in the
now.
whole
I
show.
think acting wise, I know they all get really good. He was the best actor, I think, in the first season.
Schwimmer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all even out, but I think first season wise, he was. The other ones kind of have forced lines, other than Phoebe, but I don't think Lisa Kudrow's really acting. Like everything I've ever seen her in, she always acts the exact same
way.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, but David Schwimmer, I think, was the best actor in this to begin with. It gets better, but go ahead. Who else?
All right, so John Favreau,
Nice.
he was
favorite guy.
off of the role of Chandler and turned it down
Okay.
because at the very beginning, Chandler and Phoebe were supposed to be side roles. So he didn't want to be a side role in
Interesting.
in a TV show. So he turned down that role.
Ironically, he came on later this show as a side role.
Yeah, as Pete, which
Yeah.
was like Monica's. He was a wrestler.
He was.
Well, let me ask you a question. Am I the ultimate fighting champion?
Yeah. And then okay, that's interesting though. He would have been good. He
Yeah.
wouldn't have been as good. Matthew Perry's great.
So
It's hard to say anybody else is going to be good because
They nail it. Yeah.
it's nailed. It's
So Kathy Griffith and Jane Lynch was supposed to play Phoebe.
Oh, Jane Lynch could have nailed it. That would have been
Yeah,
good.
they auditioned
Yeah.
for Phoebe
Yeah.
and didn't get it.
Interesting.
Griffin. Ugh, no.
Yeah.
The guy that played David, I don't know if he
I love David.
Yeah, David. He voiced the actor. I forget his name.
I don't
It's
know.
like
He's so good in this though.
but he voices a lot of voices on The Simpsons. He
Oh, okay.
voices like thousands of voices on The Simpsons.
Nice.
And he auditioned for Joey 2 times and missed it 2 times.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's. I mean, I don't know what he sounds like normally, but he is super dorky in this.
Yeah. Joey auditioned, or Matt LeBlanc auditioned 6 times before he actually got the role of Joey.
Really?
And he only had, so Matt LeBlanc, he had 3 shows before he got this role that failed. And when he finally got the role, he had $11 in his bank account.
Really?
He was like dirt poor.
Is one of your fun facts the story about Matt LeBlanc and the job he almost took instead of this one?
Nah, I've never heard that.
That's my favorite fun fact.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
What was it?
You get no points because I knew a fun fact.
Okay.
Okay, so Matthew Perry turned down the role originally as Chandler because he had already signed up for a different pilot. The pilot was a story about these guys who worked for an airline who were in charge of taking care of the luggage, and it was a comedy. But the twist is it was in the future, and it was an alien airport.
That's weird.
So they filmed the pilot, it didn't get picked up, and he ran back asking if he could take the job again. He's always like, thank God I did not get that job.
So this season pretty much set the foundation for all these different characters, all 6 of them. I think they did a great job setting the characteristics kind of foundation for every single one of them. What did you think, Justin?
Yeah, you can tell no one is perfect in this, and I think that's important. All their strengths and weaknesses kind of play off of each other. Mm-hmm. Not one person gets attacked the most.
No.
Why do you think the show was so popular? Do you think that people saw in their friend group people that were in the friend groups on the show?
Oh yeah, easily.
I don't know. I mean,
do you think that's why it was so popular, or what?
I don't know why it was so popular. I really couldn't tell you. I mean, it was very different from everything else that was out at this time. Most of the shows, I'm thinking of Frasier, Mad About You, which is what this kind of spun off of. Those kind of shows, it all was 30-somethings, couples that were dealing with. This is the first show that was really actually about friends, and they're early 20s, so that's probably part of it. I know that later on the show was starting to go through a decline, around season 5 or season 6, and then 9/11 happened, and then because it was a New York show, it surged their popularity again, and it started really pick up. So I know that was interesting.
Kind of sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
I think it's also that all the jokes are very quick, and all the situations they get in are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. The jokes come very naturally. There's nothing really that much very forced.
Yeah.
And the way they describe people or talk with each other is just so. It sounds like the way you would talk with friends. They'll always say something about in this season, name Monica's boyfriend or something. Fun. What was the name? Fun
Bobby.
Fun Bobby. And then he comes oh, that's Fun Bobby, or something like that.
Fun Bobby.
It's a running gag, and they turn out to be nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's great because that's what friends would do. They would nickname people like that.
I looked at just how many jokes that they would save per minute, and it was I think it was 8.
Yeah.
They would say 8 jokes per minute.
Mm-hmm.
But because other shows that we've watched previously to this, if another show said 8 jokes per minute, we would see it as annoying.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I didn't see this as annoying now and as a kid, and other people don't see it as annoying because it's joke.
Because it's through the interactions of the characters.
But it's so funny.
Yeah.
The jokes are really good jokes, and they're really well written.
Because you're playing off of another character's statement or reaction or personality trait, not necessarily making it's not a situation and make a joke about it. It's put them in a situation and the jokes come naturally. Because you have Chandler's sarcasm, you have Ross's nerdiness, you have Joey's stupidity or being a ladies' man. Monica is really uptight. Rachel's kind of ditzy and she's cute and all that. It all plays off of those traits. You expect that from them, and they're just interacting with each other.
Yeah. I don't really think, honestly, I didn't think this season was that good or that funny.
Uh-oh.
Just that funny.
Wow.
Here we go.
Wow. No.
There was definitely a couple things I laughed really hard at. Joey on the VD poster. That was pretty good. Stuff like that.
My whole entire family thinks I have BD.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not about the Thanksgiving because my entire family thinks I have VD. No, but I think there are some scenes that I think they relied too much. They relied too much on lesbian jokes. Every time they said lesbian, people laughed. They relied too much on monkey jokes with the monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
And they relied too much on physical comedy in this season, like him hitting his head on the dryer or the hockey puck hitting the nurse. I feel like all that stuff was a little bit too like cheap laughs. Personally.
You gotta admit though, the best monkey joke was when Maurice was getting the CD. And I think they were about to play poker, and he's like, "Don't you do it? Don't you play that?" And it was like the and it just keeps playing and playing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they went for a lot of cheap jokes this season. It gets better. I know it gets better, but I think they went for a lot of cheap jokes. How about that song? How about that intro?
The intro was awesome. In my opinion, it was awesome.
I think it's one of the best 90s.
The cast don't like it, though.
They don't like it?
Not one of the cast likes it.
Because probably people come up and go,
Yeah.
every time.
Have you seen
it actually got it in '95. It was number one on the billboards for 8 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, the writers of the show, they actually like helped write that theme song.
Really?
Yeah. Ross. Okay, so this season was pretty much about just kind of setting the foundation of these specific characters.
Yeah.
There were some important things that kind of happened that lead on to other seasons, but so Ross likes Rachel. Rachel doesn't like Ross.
Yep.
That's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
You find out Joey's kind of stupid, which he wasn't supposed to be stupid. Matt LeBlanc, he had like 2 lines or 3 lines at the very first couple episodes that kind of were making Joey seem stupid.
Yeah.
And the audience loved it.
Really?
So Matt LeBlanc said, "You need to make my character like an idiot."
Yeah, like a lovable idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joey's stupid. He's a ladies' man. He's a struggling actor.
Uh-huh.
Rachel's trying to figure out shit.
Yeah.
I get to be Al Pacino's ass.
My favorite Joey line is the omnipotent thing.
Oh, it's okay, buddy.
You are? I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So you find out Monica, she used to be fat.
Yep.
She's a clean freak.
Fat Monica.
Fat Monica.
That Monica's not
awesome.
in this season, is she?
She's not in this season. But you do see her later seasons.
Yes, you do.
in the fat
I love
suit.
when I think it's the first episode you figure out she's a clean freak, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave those shoes right there. And it cuts her in the bed. She's like, it's okay. I'll just pick up in the morning.
I'll wake up early, put him back out there so nobody knows.
So you find out Chandler. People think he's gay.
God, that's such a great part too.
Jennifer Aniston honestly thought
have
the
a
character
quality
was
about
gay
you.
when she read the script.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's why they wrote that specific line, because she thought that the character.
You
was
don't
gay
think I
in
could
the
get a
first couple
Brian?
episodes.
That's funny.
Chandler has a messed up life, or like his family. His dad is gay and is cross dresser.
Is he gay? Or
Did we figure that out in the
Yeah,
season?
he's
I
either-
can't remember.
Because
He says that his dad, they're getting divorced. He says that their family's getting divorced.
because he was sleeping with the pool boy.
Yeah, he was sleeping with the pool boy. His dad's sleeping with the pool boy.
That's right.
His mom writes erotic
Which
erotic books,
which is great.
and he likes to crack jokes all the
That's
time.
right. That's right.
Likes to crack jokes. Phoebe's super fucking weird.
Yeah, that's like I said.
she's the weirdest person in the
I love
show.
Phoebe.
She's great. Yeah.
I don't know. Phoebe's probably my least favorite character in my opinion.
What?
I don't know.
My least favorite.
She's a singer. Her mom killed herself.
That's right.
She has a weird life. She says very weird things.
Yep.
Ross is very smart. He has a kid and he has a monkey.
That's right. And his wife.
And his wife Carol is a lesbian
Divorced him.
with her lesbian lover Susan.
That's right. And she changed characters.
Yeah, Susan. Or no, Carol. They changed actresses.
That's right.
The first
2
I
episodes.
think 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dynamic is just weird. Like,
Huh?
they're kind of mean to him. Like the couple. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Susan and Carol are kind of mean to Ross. I mean, like, it's his baby. You know what I mean? Like, he should have like a.
Oh, I
say
was. Okay, so me and my girlfriend watched this whole entire thing because we just love Friends.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking to each other and we're like, that was messed up that they weren't going to include his name
Yeah.
in the baby. It's his baby.
Yeah. Well, and like they call him like what, Bobo the sperm guy or whatever. Like, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
like,
they
still
talked to the baby and they said, "Oh yeah, we talked about you, but we referred to you as Bobo the sperm guy."
Yeah.
and
like
instead of
it's still
the
his
dad.
It's still his dad. Like, you know what I mean? and he wants to be involved.
Maybe that's why he just has a fucked up relationship with Ben.
Maybe. Well, yeah, Ben just kind of disappears and comes back conveniently. What was y'all's favorite? Y'all have favorite episodes this season?
See, I didn't really have a lot of favorite episodes this season. I liked a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of lines. I don't have a favorite line this season either because I just like so many.
I think the
of
poker game was good.
them. The poker game
good.
was one of my favorites.
That was a good dramatic.
Chandler's gay
I
is a good one.
think my favorite is when Nana dies twice.
Oh yeah, they go in.
But again, they're at the funeral and Ross falls into a grave. Like I feel like there's too much physical comedy and stuff just trying to make it. I don't know. I feel like
I think they're trying to find themselves.
yeah, that's what I mean. But they're just going after cheap jokes. Not bad. It's just,
I don't want to say it's cheap.
I-
It is cheap, but I don't think they were doing that on purpose. I think they were okay. Let me rephrase that. I don't think they were doing it just to fill it in. I think they were trying to find what they were going to be.
sure.
And they when they saw the episode again, they're like, you know what? That we didn't need that, and they cut it out because you don't get that later on.
You don't get it, but you don't
obviously.
get it later. No.
I think it's just first season smoothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pilot was definitely the worst episode in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a little weirdly paced.
At the very beginning, it was very choppy.
Very choppy.
They had 2 jokes at the very beginning. It was like they had a joke, and then they had people laughing, and then they cut to another scene, and there was a joke, and then people were laughing, and then they did that.
It was like
throughout
them.
the episode.
It was
weird.
them just talking about things that normal people talk about, but it just didn't work out very well. I think it was crazy to me that they already in this season introduced both Janice and
God, I hate Janice
and
so
Estelle.
much.
Those are long-term characters in this show.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool they both were in this already. And the first episode with Janice, she's normal, and then New Year's Eve episodes when she
That's when she kind of goes crazy.
yeah, everybody starts
Smile, you're on Janice camera.
Kill me now.
They introduced Carol, which is I know they introduced the character, but it's not the same character. But they introduced that character, which is a long-term within the series. They don't introduce Gunther in this series.
No.
Or in this season, which kind of disappoints
He's
me.
in one episode though, isn't he? Where they
He's in
Yeah.
a lot of the episodes, but he's an extra.
right. They don't.
So when it came to Gunther, the only reason that he became an extra is because he used to be a bistro, and he's the only one that knows how to work an espresso machine. So
he becomes pretty good.
Gunther's one of my favorite characters in
He's
later
great.
seasons. He doesn't have a line until season 2, and the line is yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he says.
Nice.
For I think it's 2 seasons. He just says yeah,
Really.
yeah.
I will say though, for how different Ross and Rachel are, they do a good job with the tension, the obvious chemistry between them right away. You know what I mean? Even though they're very different.
Rachel and Ross.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't Monica and Joey supposed to end up together?
Monica and Joey were supposed to be the main couple of the show.
Interesting.
That's how. But they did have. If you look at it and you think about it and you know that fact, and you go back and watch first season, you can tell that they're trying to progress towards that because they have some good chemistry.
They have a lot of solo moments, and Monica ends up with Chandler, and they don't have any solo moments in this season. It's all solo moments is really just Monica and Joey.
The actors and actresses in the show, they all felt like Chandler and Monica were a perfect couple to end up together. They finally did.
It made sense.
She's definitely kind of almost the focal point of everything. Usually,
Yeah.
she's definitely kind of plays the straight man in this
Yeah.
a little bit. She definitely has her moments, like when her and Phoebe whistled to the guy, and they were going
guy
to the
got
hospital.
hit?
Yeah, they kept going to the hospital.
Yeah.
Things like that. And then when she slept with the high school senior,
That was a funny episode. I do not remember that episode. There were 2 episodes I didn't remember rewatching, and it was that one, and it was the episode where Ross kisses Chandler's mom. I did not remember those 2 episodes, and that was a weird episode.
I love that Chandler's mom episode.
It was weird, but yeah, I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't like those 2 episodes, honestly.
You really did?
No.
Huh.
Monica definitely gets better. I like her in the second season when they started showing her competitive side, where she gets really into it. They play that Super Bowl game or whatever, and they play football, and she gets really competitive.
You start to see it in the poker and in the charades.
Yeah, poker. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bye, birdie.
Yeah, that's right. They won't play charades with her. Yeah, so I guess they start fleshing that out. But I think she's still the least best character. Not saying any of them are bad, but
So you understand why she didn't win an Emmy? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
exactly. There wasn't much
So do
acting.
you think it's
on it.
writing? Yeah, I was about to say. You say it's more writing than it is
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah, she's fine.
She's not meant to be outrageous all the time.
Yeah.
Like some of the others are.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of go over like certain episodes that you remember, like when it comes to the best, I guess, out of the ones that we watched.
We talked about some of them. Talked about the hockey one. Talked about.
I didn't really like the hockey one that much.
Me either.
I felt
It was
like it
fine.
was kind of, I don't know, depressing.
I liked everything that reminded him of her.
Yeah,
I like
I
the
did think that
George
was pretty funny.
Stephanopoulos one.
that was pretty funny.
And it's the same one. It's the same episode, but I like that story better than
Yeah.
the hockey story.
Yeah,
With the pizza and they,
yeah. George Stephanopoulos. They get George Stephanopoulos' pizza.
yeah.
We do get to hear about Naked
Ross-
Guy a little bit.
Ugly naked guy.
Oh yeah, the Ugly Naked Guy is introduced this season.
He kind of goes away, doesn't he?
Well, he goes away because he moves away,
Oh, he does.
and Ross gets his apartment,
That's right.
and Ross has to get naked.
That's
to
later.
to get Ugly Naked Guy's apartment.
Oh, there's Ugly Naked Guy.
yeah.
Oh my God, there's Ross.
I like the episode with John Lovitz. That was a great episode.
Oh, when he's like a famous chef or something. Or
he,
owns a
yeah,
restaurant.
he owns a restaurant and he's high, and he eats all his appetizers really fast. And then he wants what does he grab? He grabs other food.
He starts grabbing all through the kitchen. And
Yeah, that's
everything.
really good.
She's like, I have whatever in the oven. It's gonna be 8 minutes. I
Yeah.
can't wait that long.
Also, they introduced in this season and the characters throughout the entire show is Ross and Monica's parents. And I think Ross's dad cracks me up.
Now I'm depressed.
That was a great line.
Yeah,
That was a great line. Yeah, at the funeral where the guy scored or they scored a touchdown.
Football. Yeah.
Now I'm depressed. Even more than I was.
He's great in this whole season. And,
No, it's really good. Yeah. My favorite, I guess, when it comes to like side characters, David's one of my favorites because he
I
has a
love
really
David.
prominent role in Phoebe's just kind of story.
Yeah.
And he
They really got serious like super quick, didn't they?
They did.
It was that was like a less of a week span. Like, would you stay for a check just after a week? Sex must have been.
I think-
really
I
If
think
it
good.
was Phoebe, oh yeah.
She must have been really kinky.
well, you're the one that really likes Phoebe. So.
That's right.
I do like Phoebe. She's
Yeah.
hilarious. Because she's used just
know.
enough.
I don't know.
Her, just to go on to her character, she's like used just enough where she's not annoying. Like
Right.
she just pops in every now and then. You're like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And everything she says, it's so like straight faced and like it just makes sense to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't really like the part 1, part 2 episode of when it comes to Phoebe's sister Ursula.
Yeah, I don't talk about that. The love triangle between, I mean, it's not really love triangle, but it's Ursula, Joey, and Phoebe. You guys know about Ursula, right? Like in the tie-in between Mad About You?
Well, Phoebe played Ursula in
Right.
that specific show.
Yeah.
And then the show did a crossover with the two actresses that were in there.
Yeah.
And they that's why in the episode they ask, hey, we just saw you at so-and-so restaurant like a couple weeks ago
Yeah,
or something
yep.
like that.
And then so you have Mad
Oh,
About-
that's why everybody clapped when those two chicks
Yeah,
came
yeah.
in.
It was-
I had no
they're like-
idea.
they're
I never
from
seen
another-
Mad About
They're
You.
from another
Yeah,
show.
she was like a reoccurring guest on Mad About You playing
So I guess that was like to cross promote Friends, or they thought, oh, we'll use
well,
Mad About You.
that show came first, and Phoebe played Ursula.
Yeah, that's
before
what I'm
she
saying.
got-
They're using
yeah.
a popular show to cross
Well,
promote.
and then they do it later with ER with George Clooney and the other guy
Yeah.
in that episode, which is also in their crossover. So it's all one shared universe. It's really cool.
It's the NBC verse.
It's
It is,
NBC,
it is.
NBCU.
There's something else that's funny. We can talk about. Phoebe was supposed to be gothic. The
Nice.
character.
I can see it.
Can you picture it?
That'd be really weird.
It would be weird.
They
I
wouldn't
don't
go-
think so. I think it would have fit her character really
That,
well.
but it wouldn't go with the whole aesthetic, though.
Out of any character, it would have fit her the best. But you're right. It would have been kind of odd.
Did you say kind of hot?
Kind of odd.
She is kind of hot.
I said what I
You
said.
said it would be kind of hot. I was like, oh, okay.
Depends on what she looks
That's
like.
weird.
Can't say it wouldn't. Oh, I don't know if you have this fun fact, John, but the first episode just kind of tells you how different the times were. But this is like, you know, this show came out like what 20 years ago now, almost. Yeah, more than 20 years ago. But
25.
yeah, but they were really worried about Monica in the first episode sleeping with somebody.
Oh, was sleeping with someone. They
Yeah.
gave a survey to the audience, right?
Yeah, because they were worried that because it was on her first date with
Yeah.
the wine guy and
Paul the wine guy?
Paul the wine guy, and they're worried that people are going to classify her as a slut because
I mean, weren't they all kind of loose?
they're loose with their bodies.
Were they pretty loose?
a lot of hooking up.
What does it say? Paolo named both my boobs
That's right.
by the sixth date.
That whole arc wasn't great.
You didn't like Paolo?
I didn't like Paolo.
You do know a little English. Poquito. Yeah. Do you know the word crap weasel? No? That's funny, 'cause you are a huge crap weasel.
I'm excited about the second season watching it because I'm guessing we're going to because I like because it ends with Monica realizing that Ross likes her and then she decides to go surprise him at the end.
Monica realized that?
That'd be incest.
That was weird. I didn't see that part.
You see
but-
that episode? Oh.
I didn't see that episode where...
What was I watching? Rachel finds out that Ross likes her, and so she goes to try to surprise him at the airport because he's coming back from China. Is that right? China?
Yep.
And he has a girlfriend. So I'm kind of excited about the second season, watching it, because that's a really good ending to the season. Because you don't even see her reaction to it. She's just like waiting for him, and you see him in the lobby, like coming up with her. What do y'all think about I a little off topic. What do y'all think about like all the shows that try to copy this? Like it was literally the year after this show ended that How I Met Your Mother came out, and it's a very similar premise. I love How I Met Your Mother. It's one of my favorites, but it's a very similar premise. You know what I mean?
It is, because this show, it's about 6 20-year-olds. It was supposed to be about 4 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
But it's about 6 good-looking 20-year-olds that are just trying to, I guess, figure shit out and figure out life.
Yeah.
And, like, a bunch of funny things happen to them. So...
There's a lot of shows that copied it. None of them were that successful. I think probably the most successful one would be How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother was definitely the most successful. It came out a year after. It came out in 2005?
Yep. It was
Really?
the first season of How I Met Your
Which they
I didn't know
definitely tried to be a Friends, but they obviously went a different route.
They did go a different direction. So who'd you think was hot in the show?
I mean, Rachel. You know, it's funny.
I'm just going to move past this, and it's Rachel.
No, funny about that though. So obviously, the radio station here. So when I remember listening to the radio when Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt got divorced, and all the rumors were going around about Brad Pitt with Angelina Jolie. You know, and I didn't really agree with this statement, but I still thought it was funny. He said, "Just when you thought Brad Pitt could not do any better." He gets Angelina Jolie.
Oh, we forgot to mention Mr. Heckles.
Yes,
Mr. Heckles
Mr.
was
Heckles.
introduced in this episode.
Yeah.
With the cat.
Hi. We just found this cat, and we're looking for the owner.
Yeah, it's mine.
He seems to hate you. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's my cat. Give me my cat.
Now, wait a minute. What's his name?
Bob Buttons.
Bob Buttons?
Uh-huh. Bob Buttons. Here, Bob Buttons.
Oh! You are a very bad man.
You owe me a cat.
But Mr. Heckles, he's my favorite. He's my favorite side character. I pretty much have like all of them. Him and Gunther are probably tied.
I like Ross's dad and David.
I'm a Chandler guy.
You think? Oh, you like Chandler?
Chandler's my favorite.
Okay, yeah.
So this season, throughout the whole entire series, Joey's my favorite character.
Yeah.
But this season, Chandler's my favorite character.
Me too.
I've always liked Chandler.
There's also an interview that they asked, and they all kind of like brush past it. They go, "Hey, so did any of you guys actually like sleep together?
Oh, yeah?
Like on set?
You know, there's orgies.
Or not on set, but like ever sleep together?" And like no one answers the question. Not
That's
one
an
person
awkward
answers
to
the
ask question.
I bet it happened.
Why even ask that?
I mean,
bet it
both Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox went through divorces during the show. I bet there were.
But why even ask that? It's a stupid question.
Yeah.
Like, why is that a stupid question? I would like to know that.
Yeah.
But why do you need to know?
So, Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I liked it. It's funny. It's an obvious point.
Yeah.
No, it's a layup.
It is.
All right.
It's a gimme.
It's a gimme. Yeah, Chandler's.
How is this a gimme? It's the first season. It's probably the worst season of the whole entire series.
But it's still Friends.
Yeah.
But
I think Friends as a series kind of broke the mold for a comedy, because like even Seinfeld was still pretty laid back and it was zany, but no one did anything like Friends before. Friends definitely set a precedent for what was going to come later for those ensemble shows, because I mean even Big Bang Theory, like think of all the big time shows that you think of in the past few years. Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, those all have something to do with Friends.
You have a point. Okay. I would say, okay, I'm gonna give you a point, but here's the thing.
Oh, really?
Well, no, honestly, I'm
gonna give you a point, but now I'm gonna shit on it.
I was trying to think. I was thinking about this today. I didn't know. Okay, you're right. I think that if this show had a terrible second season and it went off the air, you know what I mean? I don't know if I would have given you a point just watching this. Obviously, we wouldn't be watching it, but you're right. I think it clouds people's judgments. I think the fact that you know all 6 of these characters so well that you're able to kind of either forgive it or you just kind of like, oh, they're hilarious because of what they do later on. Because I can't differentiate that, I had to give you a point because I enjoyed watching it. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I understand, because like when you see Joey being stupid, like I see like when Joey says some of his stupid lines is him getting locked into the entertainment center. Right. Like that's like one of the main things you think of when Joey says or does something
or
stupid.
him putting his head in the turkey.
Or yeah, when he's putting his head in the turkey. When Monica's like doing her like clean freak thing, you think of like the closet that she has that has like everything in it. Like,
or being competitive and she's playing ping pong with her hair getting off. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you.
You look back at those things and you're just like, oh, this is like the foundation of what's to come, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be.
I don't know. I disagree with you just a little bit. I still think it was great. I think it was funny. I think it was well done. Yeah, I don't think you think it's as good because you know better's coming.
I always think it's clunky. I don't think they really had a good pacing. But I think it's just because of the characters, and you know the characters. But I couldn't see it without it. So
that's what I'm saying. I think you're being. I think what's happening is you know it gets better. So I think you're being a little bit more
critical.
Critical.
Maybe that's it too. I don't know.
All right. So of all the shows that we've watched, like up until now, this is probably one of the most different shows that we've watched because we've watched movies kind of similar to this.
Yeah.
Where they kind of be a little bit more adult now. And it's weird because I watched this when I was little, but
there was a lot of.
How would you compare this show to some of the shows that we have watched? When it comes to like the kiddish shows, do you feel like this show is a lot more better because you get a lot more jokes now, or do you feel like it would have been better as like you watching it as a kid?
I mean, I think I'm kind of clouded with Boy Meets World, but I think that not including if we're talking about first seasons that we've watched. This is by far the best first season show we've seen. I think Boy Meets World is better. What?
Ka-ching.
I think that Boy Meets World season 2 was better than this season 1 show, personally.
What do you think, Justin?
It's hard to compare though.
A series as a whole, I definitely like Boy Meets World better.
Yeah.
Whoa. Because
that's
some
fighting words right now.
You have to watch it all before you compare.
Has he not seen all the?
He has only seen 2 seasons.
The only things that I've seen are the things that we've watched up until this point.
So when it comes to Boy Meets World, it gets really good.
Those are fighting words. You're saying. I can promise you. I can 100% promise you. At the end of Boy Meets World, I will still think Friends.
Well, sure, but it's your show.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I think it's...
The last few seasons of Boy Meets World. So you're saying
as a series, Boy Meets World is better too? When it, just like Justin said?
It's hard. They're too different. I would say that...
From a nostalgia standpoint,
yeah.
I definitely think Boy Meets World is better because...
Absolutely.
From
a nostalgia standpoint.
I used to crack up. Like some of the stuff that went on. Like I can quote more Boy Meets World than Friends. Like I still... Anytime I see like just a bunch of pudding together, I just crack up.
A bunch of what?
You brought pudding to college!
Dude, it changes a lot, but you're not going to think it's better than Friends. But me and Justin are kind of on the same boat. It's just, it's our nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'm guessing most people that haven't seen either and watch them both through would say Friends is better because it's.
I can
It's
tell
a lot
you
more adult.
that
I think
Topanga didn't
it's
slut
funny.
around
Yeah.
like these girls did.
What'd you say?
Topanga didn't slut around like these girls
Corey and
did.
Topanga save themselves. Okay?
So throughout the whole entire series, this is kind of a bad statistic.
Honeymoon!
About the whole when it comes to the whole entire series, each one of these friends people, like all together combined, slept with 86 people, 86 different people.
That's
Combined.
Show should have been called STDs.
Friends with venereal diseases. VD.
VD.
This is one of the first. This is when it comes to the series, and a lot of people they don't like this about the show. This is one of the first series that mentioned like lesbians like a lot, and mentioned porn a lot within the series.
So, John, how'd you feel about rewatching this?
Rewatching season 1, I try to go into it just not trying to think about what happened in previous seasons. There was a lot more jokes than I thought there was in Friends, and watching it almost made me cringe a little bit because I was just like, a lot of the jokes landed, but some of them didn't, and when they didn't, they had to add like laugh tracks into the show.
Yeah, I think that's more of modern comedies don't really use laugh tracks anymore.
Yeah.
But so I think that's just more of that.
I don't know. There were some things that kind of made me cringe a little bit. This first season was very clunky. I do think they did a really good job introducing the characters and characteristics about those characters. But if I would have just saw this first season and not seen, I don't know if I would have liked the show.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Honestly, in my opinion. If I would have saw this first season and they would have ended it after the first season, I don't think I would have liked the show.
Interesting.
Wow.
But we're going on season 2?
Well, duh.
Okay. So, John, what are we doing next week?
We're doing my movie.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best movies that I watched when I was little. I thought it was an amazing movie.
I can't wait to hear Justin's response next week.
No.
Prepare to be destroyed.
This movie came out when this show was at its peak.
Yeah.
And it's Pokemon the movie.
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, even as a kid, I didn't like this movie.
Crazy. It was a phenomenon. It was a big deal.
Crazy. Like, if you went to school and you did not see Pokemon the movie, you were like one of those weird kids.
I remember they had like Burger King had a ridiculous amount of toys. Everybody was just like selling the crap out of this. You got that little ancient Mew card.
I don't know how much money they made off of just memorabilia off the movie, but it had to be a shit ton.
Oh yeah,
it had to be a shit ton.
Great.
Or me and my brother, we loved Pokemon growing up. Like it was insane. We got all the games, and we would always just get everything. We had the toys. We would always play with the toys and just different things like that. The movie was one of my favorite movies growing up when I was there. I thought it was when I was little. I haven't seen this movie in probably, I don't know when it came out.
98, 99, something like that.
Whenever it came out.
Yeah.
I probably watched it maybe 4 years after it came out, and then I have not watched this movie since.
Neither have I.
Oh no!
So,
well,
you're in for a ride.
I
I remember the movie.
Came out in 98.
98. Okay, so I probably saw it again in like 2005, 2004, and then I haven't seen it since. So it's been over 10 years since I've seen this movie.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it either. This was kind of I was into Pokemon really, really big for about a year, maybe 6 months, and then it died off really fast, and it died off after this movie. Not saying I didn't like the movie, but I remember this is kind of the last thing I really got into Pokemon-wise, and then I started losing interest.
Last thing that I got into when it came to like the show was the Lugia movie that came out.
The 2000, Pokemon 2000 or whatever?
Pokemon 2000.
What's that Lugio?
Lugia? Whatever.
Was that a second movie?
It's Lugia.
Okay, whatever. All right, Lugia, and then Zapdos and Moltres and Articuno.
That's Pokemon the movie 2000, which was even more shittier.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Another Man's Pod. You can also email us if you have any just feedback for us at anothermanspod@gmail.com. You can listen to us on YouTube, and we have videos out. You can listen. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts and any of your favorite podcast apps. We have every single one of them except for SoundCloud, which Chris does not. He just decides not to put any new episodes on SoundCloud.
I'll get there.
I think our latest episode on SoundCloud is Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, cool. Look at me go. I'll put it on.
That was like, I don't know, 3 months ago. Whatever. All right. Yeah, please follow us on our social medias. We have things that we post every single week on there. We do have a Patreon as well, so if you would like to give us money, we would really appreciate that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for listening. We will see you next week with Pokemon, the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Peace.